Hey guys, we'll get started in just a minute. AR, why don't you try talking so we can see if they hear you?
Let's see how energetic and lively I sound today.
Success. I'm reasonably sure they can hear you. Dev, say a word or two.
I want more bubble tea,
No.
but also I want like actual food too.
I will deal with that myself after the show.
Any sort of hydration is good right now.
Yeah.
I drank a
I'm sure I'll make
Gatorade
myself
today, and
some
I
French
don't
toast.
like Gatorade.
Let's see.
I actually kind of really like Pedialyte because that helps with the hydration and also it tastes delicious, but not as like astringent kind of as Gatorade does.
Sure.
I feel like there is a lesson to be pointed out. The drink to make sure babies are okay is now the adults who are fucked up just downing it thing.
I mean, considering all my chronic illnesses, it's amazing. Like, I always bring that shit to conventions with me.
That's not a bad idea.
Let's see. Okay, you guys ready
Yeah,
to go?
because I'm away from home for like 4 days, so might as well have all the necessities.
You guys ready to go?
Yep.
Welcome to the Litho Podcast. We're here to entertain and inform a bit while talking about Digimon. I'm Mark, who run with the will and produce Digimon on Blu-ray.
I'm AR Pulver, and I too feel like holding up in my room forever.
I am DevQ, and that's exactly what I am doing right now.
Somehow we're all like that weird sort of, we're not technically sick, but we're all sort of under the weather. Or
I'm not
feeling
really
terrible.
sick. I'm just
sick's the wrong word, but like that sort of.
I'm just
Some
exhausted.
malaise.
Yes. How has
Overheated.
How has everyone's long, overly warm week been?
I actually had like 2 days of blissfully cool weather. It's like, oh my god, it's like somewhere in the 90s, like
Yeah,
the 1990s.
Yeah, I actually got lucky over the weekend because we had Lucas's birthday party on Saturday and the weather was perfect.
Ooh, did you have fun outdoorness?
Yes, that was fun outdoorness.
Yeah, we're not to like the raw California summer heat yet, but it's begun to do the thing where it's hot during the day, and when it cools down at night, the humidity shoots up, so you don't.
Oh.
So like from
So there's no actual relief.
No, it's like you're laying there, and then you're just like, it's warm but not hot and cold but not cold, and then you go to bed and you wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning. It's just like like the pillow's just wet from your head.
Yes, everything has become damp and moist.
And as mentioned in the chat, yes, it's the California fire season, which is always
Didn't that
fun.
start last week?
I believe it started last week with a fire that I think might still be going.
It's ramping up to the 4th of July fireworks season.
Yeah.
Now it's just like the gender reveal fire season.
That too.
I would say that's not funny, but because it's not, but also it is because that's absolutely
it happens
going to happen.
more than once.
Yes.
I mean, if you have a gender reveal party, you get what's coming to you anyway.
Yeah.
Just don't burn down trees in the process, please.
Yes. And then this feels like the most argumentative Ghost Game episode in a while. It's episode 30, Bad Friend.
A little bit, yeah.
Because like I'm rather happy with the episode. AR, you seem kind of upset.
It was disappointing for the potential it had.
I think the main disappointing thing is I honestly think we got more character development from this one random, so far one-off than we have the main characters. My main negative.
Yeah.
That is not a good thing.
No, it absolutely isn't. But as a one-off thing, this is what an episodic thing should be, is just, at least to me, the main idea is polished. We get to see the character go through the ups and downs of it. The problem is that it's 30 episodes into it, and this is one of the few times it's happened, and it's not with the main characters. It's not even with secondary characters. It's with someone we've never heard of before, who apparently half the characters know. Is my main issue.
And it's because that half the characters know her is the problem, because this is a character who is really closely tied to characters that we know before, and the characters that we do know, that Aoi and Rudy don't get any particular development in this episode, is really disappointing to me, because this was an opportunity especially to progress the idea that Aoi and Mika know something is going on with Rudy, and this episode even reaffirms that. Like, it shows them feeding Gamamon. Like, they know they're close enough to the action where they know something is going on, and they don't explore it, and that just frustrates me to no end.
Yeah, they could have brought that up a bit more. It's like, oh, okay, my friends literally have a pet monster.
Especially because, like, Aoi is turned into a doll as punishment for waiting too long to check on a friend who she clearly can tell is going through something. And then when she gets an opportunity to talk to Rudy about Angoramon, she just is like, never mind.
Yeah, it's weird. The episode has a number of huge flaws. I think the plot and characterization of the episode itself makes it enough that I'm reasonably happy with it.
As a one-off, it's by
yes,
itself, it's very entertaining,
yes.
especially
The issue is
Hayono.
we know everything prior to this, and that's where the issue ends up lying.
Yeah,
is
and
that
it's like, it's not a one-off. Like, they acknowledge that it's not a one-off. There are plenty of references to previous situations.
No, I mean the episode plot itself. I thought was
Oh
done
yeah,
well.
yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's entertaining enough. It's just, as a composite piece in Digimon Ghost Game, it just doesn't really, it doesn't carry its load.
Is this the first time I've been really happy with an episode and you aren't?
I don't
I feel like
think
this
so.
has happened once before.
I think it's happened once before.
Like I'm like oddly positive about this one, and I can see the flaws. Just for some reason, I just really like it, and as
Yeah, I mean,
stupid
and
as
I see what's enjoyable about
Yeah.
the episode. Like, it's certainly an entertaining
it's
episode. It just doesn't.
it's a case where it upsets you because it doesn't fit right,
It
especially with
doesn't-
a show that has not paid enough attention to what it needs to.
Yeah, it doesn't do enough for what it could
Yeah.
be,
Yeah,
or
so
what it needs to be. Honestly,
yeah, so Kaono gets her 2 hologram ghost friends, and they turn people into weirdly creepy Nightmare Before Christmas looking dolls.
And also, she has the best fashion sense of anyone in the series.
Look,
yeah.
as amusing as it was, and I say this 100% loving it, I could have done without the randomly, and now that she's being evil, she's dressed all gothy. It's funny as hell, but it's also maybe a bit too on the nose.
I liked the gothy.
She should have kept the goth outfit. It looked.
I liked the
awesome.
gothy a little too much. I wish she would have started that way, honestly.
And then people feeding Gamamon, as you mentioned, which that was funny. And of course, David stopped to go, it's weird that this thing can eat.
That seems to happen every episode where they run into one of the Digimon being actual tangible beings, and then just sort of shrug it off.
Yeah. And then
I feel like at this point it'd be more fun if you just kind of poked it. It's like, hey, we kind of know these are real creatures. Are you gonna fess up to having like a pet fucking dinosaur?
Well, they started to at the end.
Yeah.
We got just a hair of it at the end.
This is the perfect time to do that.
Like, be honest with us, we know.
Man, it's weird. Kiyoshiro and Jellymon had so little to do in this one.
I'm fine with that.
Oh no! It's amusing. I'm just saying, you really didn't need to bring them in at all. Is what I mean. Like, they had.
The thing is, when you've only got 3 characters, it's really hard to just completely ignore them. When you've got
you're right.
If it's like Adventure and you've got like 7 or 8, if you leave one out for an episode, whatever, it's not a big deal. Here, you really can't just ignore any of them completely. You can write them out like they did here, and that's fine.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. And then
they live so close to each other, and they have each other on speed dial. It would look.
I like
they weren't there.
I like the hiding Monzemon. Like, that's stupid. That's stupid, but I like it. Well,
it was cute, but it was a little too
easy
servicing the plot just to keep him. Like, he could have. It seemed like he could have dealt with this a lot sooner. And they just had to write a way for him not to.
Yeah. And then we get the digital space towards the end, and then the battle starts. And then I like that. Is Monsemon the first Digimon who seems to be able to travel those on his own?
Yes.
I mean, like, technically speaking, Black Tailmon has to be able to, just based on them appearing.
Oh yeah.
But this is, I think, the first time we actually see it happening. Because most Digimon don't seem to know that space exists. They seem very surprised when they see it. They don't seem to know what it is. So it's kind of interesting to see him letting someone else see it, and then he sort of punches his way in, which was kind of fun to me.
Like, oh, I'm gonna go fix my friend's
Yeah.
problem and beat them with hearts like a goddamn Care Bear.
Yeah.
Like I should have done.
And I
hours ago.
did like the explanation to her from him. They aren't ignoring you. You didn't want them around.
Mm-hmm.
That was a neat little touch.
And
And then
she needed a reality check there.
yeah, and then
It's like communication is a two-way street. They can only do so much. You're kind of being a shitty friend.
and then kind of weird, they're being all evil, and then he teaches them their lesson with the power of
The Care Bear stare.
basically. And then Kano Weissman points out, there might be something up with this evolution. Wink, wink. And then
Again, like that's like a reference to a previous thing, which ended up
like,
being.
I don't know how long this will last. Let's beat
Yeah,
the shit
it
out
ended
of
up being
them.
irrelevant, but it's like I'm glad they mentioned it at least.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know if it's irrelevant to the episode. It feels like once they say that, it better not fucking be irrelevant.
Well, it shouldn't have been irrelevant the first time it happened.
Yeah.
And like this is just more onto that. So now it's like, okay,
Then
I'm convinced that it's not going to be irrelevant.
Then everyone helps fix the dolls. The goth stuff's gone. Jellymon being upset was actually funny, I thought. Like her commenting that she had a dream about being an ugly little doll.
We all knew they wouldn't fix Kirishiro's hair, though, right?
Yeah, that was the entire joke there.
Saw that coming a mile
Then
away.
Monsemon will make sure the Digimon are okay, and Goromon. It's weird. Like, it was his normal puffery, but it almost felt like far more focused and light.
He's learning.
And
well, also because it wasn't the actual end of the episode, they had to have a scene after that.
Well, then we get Oi comment. She's about to say something, and doesn't.
Say it.
And I think that more than anything else is probably what upsets AR about this one is the sort of, it doesn't move anything forward at all, but for a moment they make you think it might.
It should have, and it needed to.
Because literally, my main issue with it is all it does is to remind you that they already did this in more detail 10 whatever episodes ago.
Yeah.
Like, they don't tell us if she knows anything more, or is she just thinking about saying what they decide not. It doesn't do anything minus to remind you that they told us they know something is going on.
And it's not like
it's like, hey, about that rabbit that kind of drove a forklift through a tent.
Yeah.
You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be like confrontational or anything. She can do kind of the, hey, we know that that there's something going on with these holograms, like that rabbit that you keep hanging out with. If you want to tell us about that, please feel free to do so. Something nice like that.
I've been let's go back to the after point. Then at the end we get her sleeping happily holding the plush, and then episode's over. About the friends, though, when they get to that, it's very unfair to say this. I would 100% not. I would like to not have them just do the obvious thing of them being upset about the secret being kept. That is far
right.
Like, I can. It's very rare for that plot not to be done, and whenever it isn't, I'm very happy. Like,
I think that's kind of a bad direction to take with them.
If you're like completely chill with it.
Like,
I want them to be. I want them to be supportive.
Yes,
but I want Rudy to feel like she can actually confide to them. I think that's a good direction to go forward.
And
with that. They can be like I or something.
Yeah. Like, I don't think there was a point that I was ever happier with the TV show Arrow than when he told his secret to his sister, and then she just starts crying because of all the time she was upset with him for running off and not caring, and it turned out the whole time that he was just taking care of people.
Yeah.
It's too
Yeah,
easy.
no,
It's
like
too
the
easy to
supportive.
it's too
Yeah,
easy to not be supportive in that plot. It's just too easy.
Yeah, the supportive friend, like, that's just a great direction to
Yeah.
take. Like, I love the way Atmon did it.
Yeah,
It's
Atmon
like,
did it well.
do more of that. Yeah.
Yes.
But do it, please.
Yeah, do something with it. And if you're not going to do something with it, don't stop to point out, to remind us that you set up a plot you're not doing anything with.
Like, remember how early in Atmon that I found out about this?
Yeah.
And she was like, cool with it.
Yeah.
And then, very helpful.
Yeah. Yeah,
like, you have this weird ass raccoon thing.
Yeah, it's weird. The episode doesn't move the needle in any way. I'm just happy with the general mood and character of it. But that's also the problem with the episode is it has nothing to do with the main characters in any way, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But it could have involved the friends, and they passed on that.
Yeah. It's very odd, and then people were very happy Tyrannomon finally got to show up in animation.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see him, but he also did nothing special or unique to him. You could have actually not had him in the episode, and there would have been no difference.
Yeah, no, because it was Warumanzemon who did the.
No, he did also. He did also,
Yeah.
I believe.
Oh,
I'm just saying there was no plot relevance to have two of them. Yeah. I like that he's there. It's interesting to have him show up in animation finally.
It just sort of like adds to the camaraderie. Like, it's not just one bad Digimon having influence. Like, she has a posse now.
Yeah.
That effect was
probably
better done with
it
two
was,
than one.
But then but it's also set up specifically to then have both Manzemons face off at the end, which they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is very adorable.
Yeah.
Just two teddy bears beating the shit out of each other.
I'm happy with the episode despite its many flaws. If they could do this but focus on the main characters, I'd be just ecstatic. I really would be. If they could do stuff like this that focus on characters who exist. Now,
and either again do something with the recurring recurring storyline, or just don't worry about it and just drop it.
Yeah. And then for the guest cast, Satomi Sato was Keono. She was Akiho in Redigitize.
Oh.
Effectively, every guest this time just has a ton of roles, and it could be an hour going through them. Yeah, like.
Yeah, I saw the list where I was like, oh, it's them.
Yeah. Then Tyrannomon was Tetsu Shiratori, who Fakemon and Atmon. That's a funny casting to me.
It's appropriate.
Yeah. Most people realized where they heard his voice once they saw the cast stuff I put down. Once they saw Gluttony and Brotherhood, they went, "Oh, that's why I recognize that voice." Takashi Matsuyama was Waru Manzemon. He was Musimon in O2 and Tamers, Alomon in Tamers, Sneemon in Frontier, and so many major roles in Adventure 2020. It's funny. Algomon, Gaussmon, Boltmon, Abatomon Core, and then just a stack of bit roles.
Oh, okay.
And then Manzemon was Miyu Irono, who was Kato in Rearise, and probably best known to most people as Sora in the Kingdom Hearts franchise.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I recognized the voice.
Yeah.
I was like, God, this is bothering me. I've heard that voice so many times. Who is it? And it's like, oh, okay. It's that.
Yeah, we're having a run of actors in recent episodes where I could literally do a page on each of them and it would just be a start.
It's like just link to their Anime News Network encyclopedia article.
Because they're too long to even link to. It would be cursing someone to spend an hour and a half on each character. But yeah, and then next time we get Killer Blade, and I wonder if this shall be an evolution episode. Cough.
Can better be.
If this isn't an evolution episode, I will honestly be shocked.
I want the Wolpertinger.
But yeah, it's an interesting visual for the teaser image they use there, which is him with the blade, and then you have people trying to guess what's going to happen in the episode by analyzing the blade.
Don't do that. Just enjoy the episode.
Oh, don't you want to know the conclusion
Get the
everyone has
killer
reached?
rabbit!
Don't you want to know the conclusion everyone's reached?
They'll have to use the holy hand grenade against him.
It's Museimon's sword.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So we'll see. And then goodbye to Ghost Game as we begin the deluge of news. First up, the Ferris wheel in Odaiba from Adventure is closing down. It has many people
I'm
sad
sad.
and or confused.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
It is. A lot of people are confused why they would. You have to remember it was put up during urban redevelopment, and now it's being ripped down for urban redevelopment.
Yeah.
There is one interesting twist to it, though. As far as I can tell, do you know what it's being replaced with?
A roller coaster?
No. An arena.
Oh.
Okay. That's really interesting, though, that they're putting an arena in after they hosted the Olympics.
Well, it looks
Like,
because
doesn't Tokyo have enough arenas?
well, because
now?
remember, this specifically is like an entertainment area.
Yeah, no,
No,
totally.
but what I'm saying is the reason why that's interesting is part of the reason why they haven't generally gone back to Odaiba for events very often is they don't have the exact type of arena they want for those type of not quite hyper-sized ones. So I'm curious to see if they will literally do a DigiFes in the future. They could do a DigiFes for the 30th anniversary on the site of the actual Ferris wheel, which is kind of weird.
That would be kind of fun. But yeah, I'm just saying that they did have to redevelop a bunch of even in Odaiba, they redeveloped a few properties for the Olympics.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird that this wasn't part of that whole thing.
I
feel like they would have done it before.
Well, it was probably because it wasn't planned. They were building the other stuff, and then it's more that the Olympics got delayed, so it seems like it's awfully close.
Yeah, maybe.
And here's the thing: it looks like they announced it slightly more formally, but not like big news stuff last year. So it may have just been a case of redevelopment. And like I said, it looks like it's an arena from what I can tell. Until they actually start building stuff, we'll see. Because let's see, at this point, the Anion stations are gone. That onsen from Tri is gone.
Is the whole Pallet Town area going?
No, because I don't know if it's officially Pallet Town or if it's in Pallet Town. Is the Ferris wheel is part of the shopping center thing? I don't know. I don't know if Pallet Town is that shopping center, or if the shopping center is in Pallet Town. I just know that they're
I thought the shopping center was part of it, but maybe
I don't know if it's the whole thing or not. I just know that they're redeveloping parts of that shopping setup.
Okay.
And that Ferris wheel is very large, and an arena gets people around, is what I would assume is the goal.
Sure. No, that makes sense. But...
Yeah, that's what I think is going on, but we will see. Yeah, and people, I don't want to say like weirdly, because that's the wrong word, but like the attachment people have to that Ferris wheel is kind of amazing.
I mean, that one scene in Try.
I wanted to go and see it, but
actually the
the
two scenes, if you count the time they blew it up.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you can get there before August, I mean that's not fucking happening, but good luck.
No, I think it's still Japan's still closed to non-business travel.
I believe they opened it, and then the people got in clean, and they got infected in Japan, and then they closed it again. Because
it's also possible that they'll close it, but they won't necessarily dismantle it immediately. Like they'll prep it or something.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly how you take down a Ferris wheel. Like, do you take it down piece by piece, or do you just unhinge it and let it roll into the sea? Or that's what I hope for.
Look, I need
Or do
to
you have Omegamon show up and
we need to
have
go
Omegamon
we need to go check random movies that have Ferris wheels and double check what happens in them. I think it happens in a Detective Conan movie.
Okay.
I say this.
mean,
I say
a giant robot needs to use it like a frisbee.
there is a Gundam robot in Odaiba.
Is it in Odaiba?
Yeah. It's either Odaiba or like right next to
See, the problem is there's like 4 of the life-size Gundams now, so I lose track of.
I think there's one in Odaiba because I was watching the Olympics.
Oh, okay.
The climbing event was in Odaiba, and like in certain shots, it was right next to the Gundam statue, and it was hilarious.
One sec, I'm checking here. Odaiba Gundam. Okay, it's the unicorn. So yeah, that's probably the best known of the life-size Gundams.
Yeah, have that one deal with the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
That's all I ask for.
I think that's where the first one was, and they took it down and replaced it with the unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, either that or unhinge and roll it into Tokyo Bay.
Better film that for a fucking movie.
Absolutely. Who doesn't want to see an unhinged Ferris wheel rolling uncontrollably?
And then, hey, look, it's DigiFes. Man, they went fucking hardcore for this. So first we get the art, which is great. We get I'm just gonna say Kazuna style art rather than O2 movie art because we get the Frontier kids.
It looks good.
Yeah,
it looks good.
It looks the individual art looks good. The composite looks kind of weird because no one's really interacting with each other.
I would say
the individual pieces are all good.
It does continue my favorite theme though of Digimon art. Them trying to figure out how to integrate the Frontier Digimon into stuff when there's nowhere to really stick them.
It is I love how they try to do that. It's cute to see them.
Yes.
It'd be really fun if they had that merchandise at the actual event.
Oh no, they're going to.
Oh my god, yes.
And here's where
who doesn't want that Chalkmon
So
backpack?
when you look at this art, you can tell Koichi's upset because everyone's trying to get on his album cover.
Does have the
like everyone's like happy at an event, and he's just like wants everyone to go away because he was trying to get a Christian rock album cover done. So we get
Tomoki is walking away from everybody for some reason.
Yeah. So we get the art, which nice, and then the big twist is they will show a clip from the opening of the O2 movie. Which I'm very interested in this, not because here's the thing: we're not gonna see this realistically.
Nope, because still no news on streaming.
Oh, they're not. They would have announced it by now.
Yeah.
The reason why it's interesting to me is every suggestion, even to now, is the movie's very far away.
Yeah.
This may not be finished. This could be storyboards with audio or storyboards without audio. We don't actually know what this or this could
be kind of like a rough in like you would see on like a blooper section of like a Disney movie of shit that got cut from the movie.
They had one piece of artwork for Digimon Con in February. It's really hard to believe they have anything substantial for this.
Well, that wasn't even art. That wasn't even art done for that. That was just a character sheet, wasn't it? If I'm thinking, it was just hey, it's Daisuke. It will be interesting to hear reports about because here's the thing: you also, if it is a 2-minute scene, you could just get that scene finished or near finished to show it off.
Stills and like dialogue.
It's a 2-minute scene. It might be opening narration.
Well, I say 2 minutes. It could be 30 seconds for all we know.
Yeah, but it could be just like narration or something. Yes.
It's Taichi stabbing Daisuke to be the star of the movie.
Get to remind you of what Demiurge is.
And then they announced products, which DigiFes shirt, pen lights, muffler towel, and pre-orders will open on July 1st, and they will be delivered the day before the event so people can bring them. They always like doing that. And then I think this is neat, even if it's very basic. The mini Shikishis where they give the O2 art for those who show up to the daytime event and the Frontier art for the night event.
Oh, that's cool.
They have much more balance, not trying to make them like stand places and look like it's meant to be natural. Also,
Yeah,
how
it
the
feels like
fuck
just
did I
copy paste them.
holy shit, how the fuck did I miss that? My brain never noticed that Susanumon is there.
You didn't notice?
No, like
Really?
I noticed he was there. I didn't notice that he wasn't like part of the art in the other image is what I mean.
Oh.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
he's blended in so well. I'm looking through it, I'm like, oh, it's Susanumon. It's like, wait a second. He's not in the other art. That's what I mean. I don't mean like I didn't notice that he was standing there. I mean he's just standing there in such a way
I
that
mean,
like
when you don't have to cram in 6 Digimon, you can add something like that. Like the 02 isn't going to throw in Imperial Dramon in the background.
That would be fun though.
no, see, I'm staring at it. I'm gonna
Be nice,
see
some
if
nice symmetry, though.
I'm gonna see if anything's fucking there that's hiding. There's not. Then we got the very giant logo, and
I like the shirt.
I don't dislike the shirt, but it's also the minimum effort.
It would have been nice to have the Frontier logo on a shirt, too.
That's asking too much.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
There has been times when they've only shown us the front of the shirt and the back actually has something. Like just have the Frontier 20th logo all big.
Yeah.
That's a nice logo. It
It'd
also
be good to put on, like, the shoulder or something, too.
it also gets its own logo. Tamers didn't even get that.
I thought they did.
Tamers got the one where it very
Digimon Eye.
Tamers got the one where it very clearly looks like they just redid the adventure logo.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Where it is a unique logo, but like the style and everything from it is just the adventure logo redone for Tamers. Where this
I
is
think they
actually
realized
like
they couldn't really do that for
I
Frontier.
demand an Aguniman eye. Also, wow, looking at that art, look at Agunimon's eyes. He's all like bug-eyed. And like his face is like yeah, so DigiFes is at the end of July. We'll see what pops up there. And then they're going weirder and stupider with Survive stuff. So first, we get a new trailer. Trailer's nice, shows us new stuff. The live stream, there is no Digimon panel. It is just a live stream.
Huh.
Okay.
Oh no, it gets more confusing. The night before that, they're doing the Bandai Games panel. There will be a Digimon segment. Habu is there. So I'm guessing that the live thing, the first segment of it will be the 10 or 15 minutes from the Bandai panel.
Okay.
They'll be giving away cards. We'll talk about those more when we get to the actual card stuff. So the Survive stuff gets confusing because they have all the stuff. They're not doing a Digimon panel. They're doing a live stream the next day that they're branding as Anime Expo. But they're doing that the night before.
The people who are at Anime Expo are least likely to see it.
Yeah,
This is not well planned.
You know, here's the thing. It may be well planned. There's a very easy explanation for this to explain it. They didn't know the game was actually going to be done enough to do something. Because last time, remember, they planned like all this stuff, and then they had to announce at the event where they show you the anime intro and everything that the game's been delayed. By the time they were sure, panel submissions may have been closed. So this is just them cobbling together what they can out of it, rather than actually doing weird shit. It's just doing what they can because they want to do this before the game's out. And
yeah, I'm trying to think of when they would have had to put the panel submission into Expo.
Yeah.
And it probably would be before the game was announced.
Yeah. It may
also
be
Expo. Also, I think Expo panel space was at a premium this year.
Yeah, it was. Like, for example, there's 2 Macross panels. There's, I believe, 2 or 3 different Kamen Rider panels. There is a lot of panels. They may have just not been able to slide one in.
Mm-hmm.
So like, here's the thing. It 100% does look really fucking weird the way they're doing it. It may have just been a matter of when else would you do it? I mean, Otakon is at the end of the month, but the game's coming out at that point. If you wanted
come to Kitsune Con.
But yeah, so
Although we're only a week before the game comes
yeah,
out.
this was basically, if you're gonna do anything special, it has to be here, basically.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them that much. It just comes across really fucking weird. And then we begin the wave of the Vital Bracelet. So first up, Espeon and Rudemon. We finally know what the dim card is. I love that artwork of Espeon, for the record.
It's very cute.
They will be out August 6th.
Slime hamster.
They're under $20. We have the full evolution paths, and I will say this: it feels very strange that both of them functionally feel secondary in dim cards branded after them.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you get Hover, Espimon, and that's it.
Yeah. And then Rudemon does get his full family thing, but this very clearly feels like Zubamon and Ludomon dims.
Yeah, you get a lot more
A little bit,
variety of
yeah.
those two.
I will say I like seeing some of the sprites is amusing, like the Blacktailmon Uber one. Yeah, so those look neat. And then we don't know if those will be the last normal dims because we have the B stuff. The teasers continued, and then we got the actual announcement at the Tokyo Toy Fair. So the new bands, at least the main ones, are Clear and Smoke, which is also clear.
I love seeing the guts of my electronics.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
New animes are being added: Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, Tokyo Revengers. I'm trying to think of the way I want to word the PvP teaser, because that was like really poor. It's just a little text like, it's being made. It's like, we already knew that. Then it was very odd at first. They like weren't saying if they were called dim cards or not, and they are, but only for Digimon, it appears.
Oh.
Because like at first they were like all previously released dim cards will be compatible. It's like, oh, they have this big promo image that says Bex. That must be the new name. And just to show you guys that image. Now, X is like the crossover combination symbol, but it doesn't really feel like it's framed that way in the image to me.
No, I think it's
No.
because the X is too large.
It's
too a slightly different style
Yeah,
than BE.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, they're adding that X there as like a
Yeah.
cross symbol, but they mean these will be Bex cards. Like, okay, no, they're apparently just BE dims.
Yeah, no, I would have. I look at that and I see BX.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I thought it was gonna be Bex or BEX or whatever. It's like, no, that's just the crust, but it's like not weighted with like the Digimon logo either. It's very odd placement. And then, so before we swing back to it, let's continue. They showed off more band versions at the toy show. The colors to me are weird for one reason. Does it look like all the center ones, all the main pieces are like the same sort of generic clear one? But then they have like the really colorful
their
bands.
photos are a little more vibrant. It's hard
Yeah.
to tell because that one main photo is just kind of like washed out really badly.
So they show off the DigiFes VV, which it's not that that's a terrible name, but it looks fucking horrible name-wise, especially when you look at the nameplate and it's like, oh, I've seen multiple people go, well, it says DigiFes W. So they show that. It's a nice, the red color I actually think's rather nice. They show off the new Gamamon dim, which, coincidentally, we never saw that ultimate, so yes. So the weird thing about the dims to me, the dims feel like they don't have any personality anymore. It's
like
just
here's a line or two of Digimon and go fuck yourself.
No, I mean the actual physical dim itself. If you zoom in and look, it's just the color It says BE on it, it says dim, and it says the name on it, and that's it. Before, it had the little sigil and everything. Like it had.
I thought that was just like a placeholder, kind of.
I guess these could, but these look like the style they're showing for most of this stuff. So if it is a placeholder, it doesn't feel like it matches the style they've set. It feels like that's the style, at least to me. So a few of the other updates, they can have 23 Digimon now. I think the limit on the old one was 17 on the old DIMs.
Mm-hmm.
They have a micro SD card slot for firmware updates.
Oh, nice.
Do you know how you would get a firmware update on the old ones?
Throw it the fuck out?
Yes. If there was a firmware difference, you actually had to buy one of the new ones. I think that only happened like once, though, to be complete. These are meant to be self-contained, so that's been minimal. But wow, nice to actually do that. And then we get an interesting teaser showing off a 25th anniversary model. Love that silhouette with like just the 25th anniversary coming soon, and that's basically it. Yeah, I'm interested to see what that's going to be. Then Bandai Mania did a little tour thing. The main difference they talked about was replacement bands.
Which I'm very hyped about. I
Yeah.
want the clear one.
Yeah. And here's how few people bought the longer band. Multiple people thought that it was an extender, not an actual band replacement, which is apparently why multiple people from With the Will and elsewhere did not buy it. They thought it was like an extender. They didn't know it was an actual replacement band. So, yeah. So the weird thing is, I think this was kind of a bad announcement. And here's why.
Because you're announcing a fancy new version when
No. See, here's the
Hero just getting announced?
No, that has nothing to do with it, to be honest. What did they actually announce that was worth weeks of hype? Or weeks of them doing, teasing? Did they announce anything that was actually interesting in the end? It feels like they announced the Vital Bracelet 1.2.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you can splash water on it and not have it self-destruct.
Yeah, that was like
Got it.
the biggest thing is there's actually some water protection for something you're meant to wear and sweat. I just
Yeah, that's about it.
And like here's the thing, we don't even have like proper how much does this cost? I don't think we have there was prices or anything in the press stuff.
No, not at all.
It's
Hilariously, like my mom was hovering over my shirt. It's like, oh, what's that? It's like, oh, it's a thing that I'm looking at. It's like, oh, how much is it? I don't know.
Yeah. And then on to the Vital Hero. The Vital Hero I actually don't think clashes with the BE at all because the market is so inherently different. It's just invisible to us because anyone we know looking at this stuff would be looking at the BE. This is functionally what the Vital Bracelet was marketed as originally, which was toy for 8 to 12-year-olders.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And the main thing is we finally know what's up with the Dinosaur Roar Dim. It comes with a red model that is exclusive to Walmart. They're going to sell a ton of these just for that Agumon Dim, I guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
With the red, I feel like it would be more of like a Target exclusive.
Honestly, it really does feel like they should have color matched them, don't you think so? Like, have it be Agumon and Pulsemon as the main ones with the red and the black, and do the blue one at Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, price is the same. There's no price difference, which is nice. It's just a matter of finding it once it's out. I will say this, the red looks very nice on this.
Yeah, it's not like a candy red. It's more like
a
nice, like richer color.
Yeah, then the official site and YouTube has opened up. They did a little promo video, how to set up. The how to set up, it's not for me, but I appreciate that they did it because there is a tendency to think that everyone just knows what they're supposed to do. So like here's the charging cable, especially when you're making something that's aimed at 8-year-olders and parents are going to need to help them.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm not getting one, but I might get one for Lucas, and I'll
Yeah.
want to know what I'm doing.
Yeah. We got pictures of Wolf Howl and Dinosaur Roar, like clean ones of the DIMs. They actually look pretty nice, if basic, to me. And then, because the confusion can't stop, they put up an evolution chart on the website for Pulse City, and despite their odd text about how every DIM card will be different from the Japanese, the chart...
It's exactly the same.
Yeah. They showed off images of the battle app, which they refer to coming out this fall, which is odd that we have more from that than we do the BE, and actually that being like a major thing. The manual's up. The manuals only caused more confusion because various elements of the manual seem to be describing programming stuff from the original Vital Bracelet, not the V. So we'll see what pops up there. And I'm sure there'll be no more confusion now that there's 3 of them in Japan instead of 2. I'm sure there will be no more confusion at all. And then on to cards. So Anime Expo, if you go to the Bandai booth, they will have a limited number of promo card packs. We only found out about the Japanese ones, was it last week?
Yeah, I
I want
thought
to say
so.
it might be the week before.
Well, when I say last week, I mean the week before all of this batch of news.
I thought we talked about it on the last show.
That's what I thought. Bandai has also confirmed that, yes, they will appear elsewhere other than Anime Expo. Except for actual event cards, that's been true of basically any promo card. There's more than one chance to get it. So yes, if you aren't going to Anime Expo, you will be able to find them. I will be sending people to hopefully get them for me. Even though I do not play the card game, but I enjoy free cards as much as anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And then for English card game news, they're doing the DC1 tournament event again and stuff at Gen Con. And I like the promo cards, all look really nice. They all have like a pseudo... I don't know if it's pseudo CGI with like CGI texturing on art, or if it actually is CGI with art style texturing. Like they have this weird kind of detail where I am not 100% sure.
Well, it's not loading for me, so I can't take a closer look.
Yeah, it looks nice. There's also the play mat and the sleeves. So those good for people who are able to sign up and get there for the events. And then they began the never-ending previews for a booster set. Digimon was the first preview we got for EX03. I like the art. I like how it also confused people. Because apparently people decided that Dragon's Roar meant that it would only be characters who are labeled as Dragon's Roar or from the old Pendulum Progress Dragon's Roar V-Pet.
Oh, jeez.
Even though they said
that would be kind of limiting.
They said pretty strongly the theme of the set was dragons and things that would enhance prior dragon cards. Then after that, we got Chaostroma, which we saw this art, but we didn't see him stomping on other Digimon, which is nice.
It makes me happy.
Yeah. Hyper Mugen Cannon has some of the best art we've seen. Where it has the almost like neon-y color to it. And it's kind of like magenta-ish. Then Quinlamon gets... Something about the style of this card's really weird but interesting to me, where it's like textured but kind of flat. I don't know how to put it.
Blah, 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 blah. A lot of airbrushy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's a good. It's a weird perspective too.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
And then his attack's interesting because the design they went with for the lightning, almost everyone is seeing like a person there and like, oh, it's some sort of weird oh wait, no, it's lightning for Sorai.
Yeah.
Then Tyrannomon gets his album cover. And this was one that was actually upsetting people, like, he's not really a dragon or dinosaur. It's like, oh, it's fun.
It's dinosaur adjacent.
Yeah. And then the others in the background, it's all the failure Digimon from the original V-Pets.
Like, this is what happens when you don't clean up your Digimon's poop fast enough.
Then Dark Tyrannomon, and I don't know if I like the pudding artwork here or not. Something about the styling, I think, makes it actually work in that one. Then we get...
It's all that one artist, Koki.
Yeah. Then we get Megadramon and Megaido Flame. Something about Megadramon in the art like makes him look very mecha-ish to me.
Probably because like the emphasis on like the more metallic texture.
Yeah, it's the emphasis on the top instead of the bottom end.
Yeah. Then we got Gadramon using his dragons that are trapped in his arms.
Yeah, this one's okay.
I think this might be one that might look nicer when you don't have the sample text like covering part of his face. Godflame goes to the same art as the Hyper Mugen Cannon. Slightly more balanced colors, and I think I kind of like the non-balanced one better just because of how it looks. Then V-Jump decided to give us a bunch of previews early. So we get Agumon, the art's clearly when he first meets Ryo, except because Ryo's not a good character, they didn't put him in the art.
All you get is the sash.
Yes.
Who wears the sash with their name on it anyway?
Well, who leaves the sash with their name on it?
Yeah, now he doesn't remember who he is.
Exactly. Then Sealsdramon,
which I think is canon at one point.
It is.
It is, yeah.
And then Tankdramon. And then
it's PTSD.
We also saw the Goddramon art there. The Holy Dramon art, it's really weird. There's like not anything super special about it, but I really like it.
Just really good,
it's so fluffy.
Yeah. Then Trial of the Four Great Dragons. That's one that I need to see bigger before I comment on.
Is it going to be in black and white, or is that
I would say yes, because the card frame is in color.
I wasn't sure. It was kind of like preview of a preview.
So here's the thing. It could also be something where like that card is going to be styled in some way and the styling wasn't ready, so it's just like that. Then they had announced earlier there would be 7 special box topper cards. 6 of them will be parallel to cards in the set, while the 7th is the still mystery that they keep showing us the mystery too clearly so we know what it is. It's Imperial Dramon Black, themed after Hyper Coliseum. And then they tease, which we knew was coming, the Psycho Jump promo card of Espeon.
Mm-hmm.
I love that cartoon art.
It's so angy.
It looks so good.
It's a very mean hamster.
And I 100% wanted to strangle Blue Ike when he said the obvious thing about it, which didn't come to mind until he mentioned it. It looks like Rat Trap from the Beast Wars Metal manga. Like, it looks exactly like Transmetal Rat Trap from the Japanese Beast Wars manga. Everyone in the chat and there can do it. And yeah, like, can enjoy that.
I have the voice stuck in my head. God damn it.
Oh, the super... do you have the super squeaky Japanese voice? Or Scott McNeil doing the New Yorker?
Yeah.
The New Yorker one.
Okay, yeah.
How are those both a thing?
Yes.
This is cursed.
No, it's just... And that's one of those weird things that I actually do like about adaptions that people ignore is when they take American stuff to Japan, they do exactly the same thing.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Although in Beast Wars, they tripped over multiple weird things. That little Rat Trap art.
All I'm saying is that if I'm going to go look for a clip of how this guy sounds, totally looking for the Scott McNeil.
Oh, no, the Scott McNeil is like perfectly amazing. Animated perfectly to his mouth and everything, and just that's 100% the character. Just the New York added, like he's just like
I can see it.
No,
I can totally see it.
Oh no, it's 100% perfect. Yeah. Then Fun Digica had Murata P answer questions because he lost in the match last time. We got to see new art featuring Patamon and Tokamon, and I love that fucking art so much.
Yes.
And
It's so bad.
I figured out why we all recognized him. He was the secondary producer, I believe, in various Vital Bracelet stuff. He was the one who would always show up on like Bandai Mania and other places where we had screenshots of him all the time helping.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Chase Murata was what he was being called at the time, which I assume is his actual name.
Okay.
That's why we recognized him. He has the mask, so he changed his hair color a bit. I believe he was blonde for all the Vital Bracelet stuff. Yeah, and then
I'm face blind as shit.
yeah,
So.
and then the 25th anniversary keychains are out. They look really fucking nice. Like when you consider they're basically like at current exchange rate, they're like $2.20. They look nice. They really do. They're
really fun.
I think I saw a photo. I don't know if it was modified or not, where the thing at the top, I believe if you squeeze it, it lights up the screen. I mean, obviously this isn't a working thing, but yeah, it has a little light up screen. So those are available now. And I believe that's the first time we've actually gotten a clear version of the 25th anniversary logo. And that is that like art-wise the most complicated anniversary logo we've had?
It makes me think of like the Super Mario Brother one.
Oh, that's horrifying because that's true. I didn't.
Yeah. Not that you mention it.
That's horrifying, Dev, because that's true.
But yeah, I do think it is the most complicated.
Because they've generally been very minimal. And then Bandai's giving away Digimon model kits. Who doesn't love doing those Gleam list social media things? And this one seems stupider than most. If you open it up, the list is more largely cartoonish.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And a lot more of them are things like, oh, you have to follow this. You have to. I don't think I've.
That's a lot of accounts to follow on. Let's see.
I don't think
Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and just going to a website.
You missed the YouTube one up above.
Oh, and you.
I don't think I've ever seen one of these with 49 ways to enter before.
Yeah, it's kind of excessive. I mean,
it's counterproductive too. Like
because the idea is you want people to look.
If you had like one or two of each,
I might actually look.
Each media site, I'd probably do it. But like all of these,
it's too much. I'm not. Yeah, it's not worth the effort.
Yeah, because someone who really wants to is gonna find a way to sign up for all of them.
No, and here's the thing: if someone wants to go to that effort, they should be the winner. Because I'm not.
Yeah, like I might. Like I could maybe see myself doing like
one
of the Twitter ones.
So here's why I'm not gonna do shit. I was like, okay, I'll do one or two. I clicked the free daily one and it won't let me do it. You have to do a certain amount of the other ones before the daily ones.
Yeah.
It's like at that point, this is a fucking job. I'm not doing this.
Like your entry, 3. Total entries, 29,141. I don't think I'm winning any of those model kits.
I think you have all these model kits, Dev.
Not all of them.
Okay, fair enough. And then poll results. Big surprises all around here. Ancient Greymon gets basically 1 out of every 3 votes.
Hey, it's Greymon and Horny again.
Yeah, what's weird is I think we were debating which Horny would win.
Mm-hmm.
And you were correct, I believe.
I don't remember. I just figured it'd be someone horny.
Oh, we all did, but I think I thought that it was gonna be Irismon. And you said
I went with Mermaymon just because.
Okay.
Yeah, you
better overall design.
You guys were right, I was wrong. I figured they'd go for it because it has the feet.
Yeah, but also
Are we trying to guess the
Yes.
full participants' kinks here.
Yes, exactly. So Greymon 31%, that makes sense. Mermaidmon 13% makes sense.
Mermaid beats the foot fetish. Okay.
Garurumon actually has a much better. The last one was the one where like
That was
he dropped.
somewhat of a redemption story for the
Irismon
Garurumon.
10%, which not that much of a difference between 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 with Sphinxmon and Wisemon had a good showing.
Yeah.
Beatmon had a good showing too, honestly.
Ancient Volcamon's disappointing. I was expecting Volcamon to do a lot better.
I thought Volcamon would be a bit higher.
I figured that'd be like mid-table.
Yeah, I believe the vote stackers this time were trying to go for it was Troyamon or Megatheramon because I believe the idea was that if they won, there was the assumption that it would have had to have been them. And it
wasn't them.
Well, here's the thing. There's nothing interesting enough in this one to even get people to try to chase it down.
Yeah, like there's just no motivation for it.
So,
these are how many of these have actually appeared in any of the series? Like 3.
So, congratulations to Takuya's whole line.
Ran the table, I believe.
I believe it was first and ever one, and there wasn't even anywhere that it was close at all to losing. Like, this may be the closest it was to losing, and that was by more than double. You would have had to get
has a solid 25% of the votes in any given one at least.
So congratulations. I will admit, I honestly thought Ancient Volcamon was going to rank not high, but better. I did not think
5th or 6th.
I figured close to 7%.
Yeah. Ian asked quickly, was Takuya the first Goggohead to sweep every poll? They haven't really done these in any way where you could, they didn't do a...
this is the first one where it really was a possibility.
Yeah, they didn't do a Tamer's equivalent of this series last year. So it's less that he's the first who could... It was the first where there was anything that could be sweeped in that fashion. And then from the weekend potpourri type stuff, when the Tokyo Toy Show was going, they took an Agumon plush and took photos of it, arriving at Big Sight, looking at the sign, and then with the Vital Bracelet BE. I don't know why I'm so amused when they do this shit, but I am.
Because it's fun.
It is fun. Get Agumon out a little bit more.
I think the best photo of the 3, honestly, is the first one, where it's Agumon trying to take a selfie of himself at the Big Sight.
Yeah.
And then we got art from the animation director for the episode. They put up 2 pieces of art and let us share them. Very nice art.
Yeah, obviously that's the Gothic outfit is obviously the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not going to try... Trying to type this name was painful. Because it's am I typing the right...
You have to count how many T's are in there.
Not TTTTX.
It's like Mississippi.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, because, I will try to copy paste and I'll no, I need to write it out just to make sure it's not copying stuff oddly. It's does this look right? I think so. Screw it. I'll copy paste into Notepad first to get any odd formatting off. Yeah, so the art's cute and fun. And then we got... This is the first social art they've done in a while for Ghost Game. They've done stuff for random holidays.
Just in just whatever profile got updated.
Yeah, so we get the 3 plushes. I'm trying to think, what was the last Ghost Game social art? Was it one of the hiatus things?
I don't remember. Did Kana Weissman get one?
No, because they put up his reference book at the same time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, it's weird. They've been doing them more for random events. The last social art, I'm looking around. Wow, was it really episode 23?
Kind of feels like it.
Episode 23 was the one with Wezen and Clockmon.
Oh, jeez.
That's the most recent one I can find. It doesn't mean that there wasn't another one, but that's the one that I can find. So that was April. Actually, that does sound about right, doesn't it?
I know it's been at least a month.
Yeah. And then time for questions. You guys in chat can throw yours up. I think I saw one go up like right as we fucking started, so you guys throw that back up. Diego started with asking a question about Japanese Blu-rays. I rewrote this day. He wrote a very nice little letter. I rewrote it just so to get it on the sheet easier. He was putting Blu-rays on his media server, and he was curious why Japanese episodes do them as one file rather than individual. He was curious if it somehow saved space or anti-piracy. The answer is they don't. It just happens to be the Blu-rays you have. It's completely random. Like I think Diego said he'd gotten the Tamer and Frontier Japanese Blu-rays, and those were all one file. The 2020 ones are single file. It's just production. It's whatever they get, whatever's easiest. Because if you get them in order, you're not going to split them because you're putting them back on like anyway. So basically, just whatever happens in production. There's nothing really interesting there. I mean, I think I'm working on discs right now where some of them are split and some of them are single file, and it's just coincidence. It's not. There's nothing specifically special, I guess. And since it was related to that, someone wants to know: did Adventure 2020 not get rental discs because we used to talk about them for Adventure and we talk about the Crosswords ones? Still, the answer is they did, but they were so uninteresting that it was never worth posting news about them. The Atmon ones, we got to see previews of art and other stuff. So the adventure rental discs, the only thing unique or special about them in any way was Adventure 2020 had 5 Blu-ray sets and DVD sets. Does that sound right to both of you?
I think so.
Yeah, I think.
And
Yeah, 5.
and it was
Like 2, and then
yeah,
last one was Omega.
Yeah, and it was 11 discs total because each was 2 and the last was 3. So that's 11 discs for Blu-ray and DVD. The rental discs, I believe there were 25, and every single one just had the first piece of key art and then had a number in the corner, and that was it. And then had 2 or 3 episodes. There wasn't anything to talk about, so there wasn't really any reason to mention them because we weren't getting art previews. It was just, hey, rental discs exist if you're in Japan, and since we were doing it in the middle of a pandemic anyways, there was nothing interesting to talk about with them. Let's see. Someone had a technical question. When they plug an Ethernet cable into the router in the computer for this time, I assume they mean the first time, should they reset the router? Generally, no. If there is an issue, then reset anything and everything, and it's fine. Nothing, no real reason. Let's see that I'm. Let's see. Okay, and then Sora wants to know: is there a point of view Atmon, like an Atmon based on the idea of point of view?
Reviewmon.
Yeah, there were a few
Perurymon.
Yeah,
sort of.
And then there was the other I can't remember the other Perorymon's name.
I think that was still just Perurymon. It just dealt with a specific kind of cuisine.
Didn't the pink one have a different name?
I don't think so.
Okay. For some reason,
I can double check. I'll double check, but
yeah,
I don't believe so.
Yeah. Okay. It looks like they're talking more. Okay, we may have misunderstood. It looks like they may be talking about like video game point of view, like a first-person type. I don't know. Was there a shooter Atmon?
Yes. At least it was just the shooting one. I forgot what it was called because it wasn't Gundramon, but it was like a Shootmon.
The green one. The green Nerf one.
Yeah, I don't know if that were specifically represented FPSs, but
yeah. Then someone wanted to know from us. We've all kind of talked about how tactical and strategy RPGs often aren't good. Whether before they play Survivor, after, where do we think is a good place to start with that genre?
Disgaea.
Disgaea.
Yeah, Disgaea is an easy one.
I
Final
think we
Fan.
get this question every month, and we always say Disgaea.
We always say
Because this
Disgaea.
guy is good.
Final
Yeah.
Fantasy Tactics is also a good one.
Yeah, that was the featured article on Wikipedia today.
Yeah, and also
Neat.
well, because I think it's the anniversary of the game today.
Uh-huh.
And also a good one to start with if you really don't know the genre. A really
Yeah,
good
that
one.
was my first. That was my first.
Yeah.
SRPG.
Yeah, another good one that's cheap but is slightly more tactical than strategy is the Mario one. The
Oh, the
Mario and
rabbits
Rabbids.
one.
Yeah, that one's
Mario vs. Rabbids,
that
yeah.
one's very good. And
Yeah,
it's often
Lucas
dirt
watches
cheap.
Let's Plays of that sometimes, and it looked really more deeper than I would have expected it to be.
Yeah, it's one of the better ones I've played. But yeah, we say Disgaea because it's
It does a lot
it's
of
good.
the
It's also very
different
cheap.
things. A lot of the different things you come to expect out of SRPGs.
Did I mention what I did with the copy of Disgaea?
Probably.
Around Christmas, I sent it to May and said, "Enjoy Digimon Survive."
Oh.
Now, I should mention, I forgot the time difference, so I apparently sent it to them while they're at work, rather than them sitting like at the computer and they could redeem the key and realize what it was. So yeah, and I have 2 Disgaea keys that I've been waiting to give away because they were like $1 to each. So I was like, yeah, I'll grab them and give them to someone.
Yeah, also it's on like a whole bunch of different
Yeah.
consoles.
Yeah, now you
at
can
this
get that
point.
pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, like the at least 1 and 2 are always dirt cheap on PC.
Yeah.
If you wait for a sale, they're like $2 each. That's a good place to start. The ports aren't perfect, but really good place to just start off with, I would say. Then Ramon wants to know, for the BE, can you raise Digimon and other stuff at the same time? We don't know because at this point we know exactly what you know. There's almost very little information. It's possible we do know, we just don't have the information. So I would say we have to know soon because they can't be waiting that long to release these. So yeah. And then someone wants to know, what do we do if a translation we post is inaccurate? Some people have debated the 10% thing for the Vital Bracelet. I saw some that someone going, oh, it's not. It may not be 10% slimmer. It might be 10% lighter. If it isn't accurate, then oops. I mean, yeah, about oops.
Post a clarification and move on.
Yeah, it's sort of like the earring thing. I don't think we still know what those are for sure.
Nope.
Yeah, we know one is for pierce ears and uses what do you call it, hook?
Yeah.
I don't think we know for sure if the other one was some sort of rod style piercing or clip on.
Yep, it could be either. We don't know until they literally turn it to the side.
Yes. Yeah. So if a translation's wrong, then it either gets fixed or doesn't get fixed. We try to be accurate when it comes to buying stuff. At this point, I would say 10% size difference doesn't matter if someone's going to buy it or not. In the sense of, if you're going to import a BE, you're importing it. You're not making a decision based on 10%. Especially with how good exchange rates are right now. Like if you're in the US and you want to buy shit from Japan, now is 100% like the best time in years to just import shit. Have you guys seen exchange rates lately?
I know, and it's hurting my soul because it's like, shit, I have like things I have to save up for that.
Oh my god, it jumped even. I remember the last time I checked, which was a few days ago, it was like it's gonna go above 130. It's above 135.
But I have to
Yeah,
save up for dental work. Why?
yeah. If you want to import stuff, now's the time. Let's see. What is our favorite old school monster movie?
I don't watch old school monster movies.
I used to.
Just not. It just don't.
Honestly,
get into them.
I've always had a soft heart just for the general Godzilla movies. Yeah,
I'm trying to remember which one I like the most, though. Mm.
Yeah, just
I like when they first introduced Mothra.
everyone likes the ones with Mothra, but yeah. And then someone wants to know, where did our usernames come from?
Mine's just my name. I was really lazy, and it was like eons ago, so I just stuck with it basically.
Since Dev's almost certainly has to be more interesting than mine, I will go next, and then she can go. Mine is obviously my name and then initials of a different site I ran from when I made this username. Dev, the only
That's
interesting
less
one.
interesting than I thought it was.
Is the F stand for feet in the interest of continuity?
No.
Darn.
Dev, you're the only one who can save this question, Dev. Is there an interesting story behind the name DevQ?
Yeah, so it used to be my AOL Instant Messenger name, which was Deva Luna QB. But then I shortened it down for a Digimon RP thing, and then just kind of stuck with it.
We got one interesting answer out of that one. Hooray!
Huzzah!
Last chance for you guys in the chat, because this
How
is
old is the Q? When was that coming around that you got the QB in there? I'm wondering what that, because that's got to be.
2001.
Yeah, it's like that's got to be a while ago.
Yes, that's the part where the Deva came from as well.
Okay.
And my old Pokemon OC was named Luna.
So okay, the first agent has some Tamer's connotations in there.
I'm just laughing that you didn't say that when you said yours.
Nah, I don't use that one as much anymore.
Yeah. And then someone wants to know, do we have any guesses for the 25th anniversary Vital Bracelet PE model?
I assumed it would just have a, what do you call it, a band decorated to look like the
bricks,
maroonish and bluish model.
See, I think if you want to go in, see, here's the thing: 25th anniversary model could have nothing to do with anything, minus using what popular Digimon. What I think would be neat is if it's, because I think we're all safe to say it's going to be premium Bandai. I feel like we don't have to guess that. I think it'd be neat if it came with 5 dim cards and each one was just one of the original V pets. Just that lineup.
That would be fun.
Or hell, use the expanded ones from the 20th anniversary that they sort of pretend like we're always there now. So you'll have Blitz. You know, they kind of pretend that those ultimates were always there when they go back to those now. So have it 5 dim cards and have each dim card styled with the color of the originals. That's what I would like to see.
Ooh, and the actual card holder could look like the V-Pet itself.
Yeah, that'd be neat. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Like, I would assume a 25th anniversary Digimon will be announced right around then. I don't know. See, the problem is it could be completely random to what we're thinking, which is trying to think of something to celebrate the brand. You know what I mean? So, any other ideas you guys can think of for that?
Honestly, nothing that's
interesting.
Very likely to happen.
You mean you would like it to be a nice, high-end quality product?
Yeah, but we know that's not going to happen.
Hey, at least it won't die from your sweat this time, which we know happened a few times. And then last question, do we think there'll be any new Digimon in Survive? Generally, games, if they have new Digimon, they will have 1 or 2. So one that ends up being plot relevant at the end or something wouldn't be a huge surprise.
Probably like a boss fight, kind of like Fromon or Grimmon.
Yeah, maybe.
we
but
do have.
I don't see a whole lot of new Digimon.
We do have those weird little purple fuckers who've shown up in recent commercials. Do you think those will be Digimon, or do you think it will be the weird habit the games have going? here is a powerful enemy. They are not Digimon, but
Yeah,
they look
They're
and act
just
like
a
Digimon.
digital life form.
Because
they're
the
spirals.
Cyber Sleuth games had that. Rear Eyes had that. Um, even like the franchise, even like anime bosses will randomly just not be Digimon. They'll just be things. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
like that was the case in I think both Cyber Sleuth games. I
Well,
mean, one was Yggdrasil, but
because both were the same time frame though.
yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. I reasonably, it feels like hoping for 1 or 2 is reasonable, but it's always hard to tell.
I'm gonna say no. I'm just gonna predict no.
Okay. And to be clear, you're talking about a Digimon that is new specifically for that, and not just
Yeah.
coincidentally new around the time.
Yeah.
Like if we get the game in Espemon's,
Like if
and an
in
Espemon doesn't count.
right.
You're talking about a Digimon 100% designed for survive and nothing else, is what you're saying
Yeah.
no to.
Yeah.
Because I 100% would not be shocked if, regardless of how long development's taken, is if they stick in something new-ish.
Oh yeah, no, totally. That I
Like,
would not be surprised by. I'm
like,
talking about something we have not seen before
and
and
is
that they don't
specific to
announce
the game.
until like after they've given
Yes,
people the chance
we're
to play through
we're
Survive a little
talking
bit.
about like a Hudemon.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're saying no. I'm saying I'd like to believe 1 or 2.
I'm guessing 1.
Dev's flipping a coin, basically. One is functionally the same as mine, but probably more reasonable.
I figured whatever final antagonist is, it's going to be one new thing, and that's it.
It will be shiny Agumon. Agumon shining with the hopes and dreams of everyone,
I
and
figure it's
covered
like
in
a
blood.
recolored, what if he's wearing Mugendramon's armor? Just put on a hat.
Just a tiny Agumon with Mugendramon armor and a cowboy hat?
Yes.
That would be acceptable.
I'd be good
I
with
am
that.
fine with this.
Yeah. Okay. And then, that's it for questions. AR, what do you have coming up?
Well, we did our live tweeting of Remy Watches Atmon. We started that last week. That was a lot of fun. We're gonna do that
Enjoy
again on. Yeah, it was good. So far, we like Atmon so far. So
that's like I feel like that's the.
I mean, I can't predict what's gonna happen in episode 10. So
No, but I feel like that's the general opinion of Atmon, minus people screaming one way or the other. It says Atmon, it's good.
yeah, I mean, you can't gauge anything by 4 episodes anyway. Like we haven't even met Aerie yet, so we'll see what happens when we get through the next 4 episodes, because that gets Aerie and Astra into the picture, and
Yeah,
that tends to be where people start to make judgments as how they feel about Aerie and Astra especially.
I honestly do think Atmon did a very nice job of staggering the character introductions.
Yeah, which is it's sort of reflected because Ghost Game kind of did the same thing.
I mean,
like
so did Adventure 2020 at this point. But I mean, I think Atmon did it slightly cleaner than most, though, where it let the characters breathe rather than introducing them quickly, which even Ghost Game did a little. Ghost Game was weird in the introductions. It did stagger them. I think Atmon's been the cleanest in staggering overall.
Yeah, but Atmon's introductions made me stop watching it because they were too fucking annoying.
That's the catch. It does take a while to grow on those two.
Yeah. Dev, what Wikimon article would you like everyone to read?
Since we're talking about bosses that show up in one game, take a look at Ragnamon.
Wasn't expecting that one. Deep down, don't you wish there was a Wikimon article for manga Transmetal Rat Trap? So that you could have linked to that one.
Yeah, so we can't wink to TF Wiki, which is obviously the best wiki in existence.
Yes, TF Wiki is the best wiki.
Yeah.
There's no question.
It's the goal.
Yeah, that's the gold standard for wikis. I met with the will as always. And we will catch you guys next time. Actually, next time we should know 20th anniversary stuff because it will have passed. It's the weekend, this weekend, I believe. So we may. Oh, that's why they sent in the question, wasn't it?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's probably why that question got sent in, because
Yeah.
we're probably gonna find that out this week. That only just occurred to me. That's probably popping up in the next few days.
Oh, let's hope so.
Yeah. So in theory, we will be talking about that next time, along with. God, I don't even know what to expect for the 25th anniversary. There's so much
More
weird
card?
shit. There's so much weird shit they could do. Especially with other stuff like they mysteriously did not have card battle last week. Anytime they don't have card battle and they come back, they've done something weird. I hope it's a costume.
Yes, so do I.
Yeah.
Make it ridiculous. Wait, make it X-Tyrannomon.
I'm trying to figure out how they would make that, and I think that's where we want to leave on. We will catch you guys next time, hopefully with a plush X Tyrannomon costume. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.